What if the thing you fear most is a mistake? What if death, the final boundary we all must cross, is not a punishment, a loss, or even a harm, but nothing at all? Think about it. You weren't afraid before you were born. You felt nothing, feared nothing, struggled with nothing. And Epicurus, one of the most misunderstood philosophers in history, believed the same is true about death. According to him, when we die, we cease to exist, and therefore, there's no one left to suffer. No fear, no pain, no you. So, why be afraid of something that never touches you? Let's unpack this powerful idea and see how it can change the way we live today. This channel is dedicated to exploring the great ideas of the past that still shape our minds and lives today. From ancient philosophy to modern insight, we look at how to live with more clarity, courage, and meaning. If you're seeking perspective, peace, or a deeper way of thinking about life, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Epicurus believed that all good and evil comes down to sensation. We feel pleasure, good. We feel pain, bad. That's the foundation of his ethics. But here's the key. When we die, we lose the capacity for sensation altogether. There is no feeling, no thought, no awareness. In his words, death is nothing to us. Why? Because when we exist, death is not present. And when death arrives, we do not exist. There is never a moment when we and death coexist. So death, for Epicurus, is not a state we endure. It's the end of all states. If there is no awareness after death, then there is no pain, no punishment, no regret. And if that's true, then fearing death is irrational, like fearing the moment before we were born. Let's break down the central ideas behind Epicurus's bold claim. 1. Sensation is the measure of good and bad. According to Epicurus, only conscious experience has value. If something brings us pleasure, we call it good. If something causes pain, we call it bad. But when we die, we don't experience anything, not pleasure, not pain, not even absence. So death cannot be good or bad for us. It just isn't. 2. Death is non-experience. Death is not something we live through. It's not like pain or illness, which we endure. Death is the end of subjectivity. There's no you to be harmed. Imagine flipping a light switch and the bulb burns out forever. There's no flicker, no fade. It's just gone. The darkness is not frightening. It's just the absence of light. 3. Fear is about anticipation, not reality. What we really fear isn't death. It's the idea of death. The image we build in our minds. We fear the unknown. We imagine suffering, loss, grief, finality. But these are mental projections, not death itself. Epicurus challenges us to separate real threats from imagined ones. Death is not a thing we experience. So why let it disturb our living moments? If we truly take Epicurus's view to heart, our entire orientation toward life shifts. We stop wasting time on fear. How much of life do we lose to fearing death? We worry about accidents, illness, aging, the future. But if death is nothing to us, those fears evaporate. We stop obsessing over what we can't control and start focusing on what we can. How we live, how we love, what we choose. We focus on the present. If death is the end, then this moment, right now, is the one that matters. Life becomes urgent, vivid, and immediate. Every sunrise, every laugh, every breath counts. When we no longer fear what comes after, we cherish what we have now. We let go of superstition. Epicurus rejected the idea of divine punishment after death. He believed that fear of the gods and fear of death were the two great poisons of the human soul. Freeing ourselves from both means we live by reason, not superstition. We can then live ethically not because we're afraid of hell, but because kindness, justice, and friendship create a life worth living. Let's pause. Maybe you're thinking, okay, but I still don't want to die. And that's totally fair. Let's tackle a few common pushbacks. Objection 1. But death robs me of future pleasures. Yes, death ends your ability to enjoy life. But Epicurus's point is that you won't miss those pleasures. Once you're gone, you're not there to feel loss. You're not deprived, you're simply not. Objection 2. I don't fear being dead. I fear dying. Good distinction. The process of dying can be painful. But Epicurus's argument is about death itself, not the path to it. Fearing death as a state makes no sense. As for dying, that's where we focus on medicine, wisdom, and preparation, not fear. Objection 3. My death will hurt those I love. True, death does affect others. But Epicurus is not denying the value of relationships. He's saying your death is nothing to you. That doesn't stop you from living compassionately, loving deeply, or leaving a legacy. In fact, it encourages those things because you know life is brief. Once we accept that death is the end of awareness, a new kind of freedom opens. We no longer live defensively, trying to avoid the inevitable. Instead, we live wisely, choosing simple pleasures, deep connections, and inner peace. We also gain courage. Knowing that we only have one life, we take risks we might avoid. We speak honestly. We pursue what matters. We don't wait. We become, in a real sense, more alive. Epicurus's message is not morbid, it's liberating. He's not obsessed with death, he's obsessed with life. His philosophy is a call to embrace the now. Death, properly understood, removes fear and restores presence. It humbles us, clarifies our priorities, and deepens our gratitude. And maybe that's the point. It's not about escaping death. It's about learning to live without being ruled by it. If this video gave you a new perspective or helped lighten your fear even a little, don't let the conversation end here. Subscribe to The Unfolding Journey for more philosophical insights that challenge, comfort, and inspire. Like the video if you found it helpful, and comment below. What's your biggest fear about death, or the one you've already overcome? Until next time, keep thinking deeply and living fully. Your journey is unfolding.